here on YouTube. It's a busy day today. I hope you enjoyed the session with Jared Tendler. Thought it was really good. Very good guy, smart guy. And again, hopefully going to help improve performance. Welcome to HOAG Money. Markets aren't really in a very good situation or a good area for us this afternoon, but we're going to take a look. So this is the CFTC disclaimer. We should know it by now. We're not going to be calling any trades and not suggesting any of these trades for anybody. Of course, there's no expectation for profitability or lack of profitability in any of these trades, and everything we're doing today is for educational purposes. The rules: we're going to expect kindness and respect above everything. Of course, we're looking forward to differences of opinion, and that's what makes these markets so good. We're going to have a couple of people enabled to talk, hopefully, and all will be involved in the decision-making process. Of course, if you are speaking, you will be able to share your charts, and the context of your trades would be greatly appreciated. You will be able to share your charts if you would like to. We're going to use the chat room to discuss trades. That's on YouTube as well as the Zoom meeting. We're going to focus on the E-mini S&Ps for now. We're not going to trade just to trade. We're not going to take losing trades, which is, of course, a joke. We know losing trades are part of trading, and we have to be able to deal with that. And, of course, feedback from HOAG Money is greatly appreciated. If you wouldn't mind, say something in the chat room and the Zoom meeting as well as in YouTube so I know that you can hear and see everything. And we're going to get started now with the platform. So the E-mini S&Ps and the micros are right in the middle of the range. This is not an area where I will often look for opportunities to enter the marketplace. Good afternoon, Austin. Good afternoon, Michael. Let me hear everything in. I'm going to get this up here. Hang on a second. Now you can see the cursor here on YouTube. Can hear fine. Good. Steve, thank you very much. Scott, all good on YouTube. Very much. So what are we doing here this afternoon? I'm not quite sure I'm seeing any opportunities as we sit right here relatively close to the middle of the range. Inside value, just to kind of go over the current context and maybe a couple of things we're thinking about and talking about this morning on the market forecast is, the short time frame is good structure to the upside. The market seems to be struggling to continue these moves to the upside. Some pretty significant excess on the highs yesterday. So just looking at this as more of a range-bound trade now. The market has really been range-bound for the last 3 to 4 sessions. Overall, you could say that it's been range-bound. I mean, we've got overlapping, inside, overlapping high, outside, inside. Market's really not moving that much. So is it doing a good job in continuing its move to the upside? Is there a pullback in play here technically, or is the market adjusting inventory in the current consolidation that it seems to be in? Take a look at the 30. So as of yesterday, value continued to move higher over time. We've got value outright lower now. We've got an overlapping inside session from yesterday to today, but value starting to pull back a little bit. So where are our opportunities today? Look at the volume profile here. Relatively centrally located point of control, relatively even bell curve. Take a look at the TPO chart. Okay, we were kind of looking this morning at a week low in the overnight here, another week low in the overnight here, week high in the overnight up here last night, we took out our weak highs here, and again we left excess above price yesterday. So I'm really just kind of waiting to see if we're going to get an opportunity at one of the extremes for an execution. So I think the question then becomes, if you ask me, Stephen, today poor low unfinished business. Well, I mean, we could call this a weak low because we've got lots of recent lows around it, but there is a degree of excess in the day time frame down here. The opening, the initial balance did fall to the downside. Yes, it has been a chopper, right, DA? The market has left excess at the high this morning. It's left excess at the low recently. We're still in, I think, that time frame. So I'm just kind of hanging, waiting for the idea to look for an opportunity for a trade. So I guess my question to you guys is, are we looking to fade the extremes to the downside here in the current area of balance? Oops. Let's look at this on the S&P. So we've got, yesterday's low, previous day's low, not all that strong. And then we've got Thursday's big move to the upside. Thursday, Friday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Thursday's big move to the upside. So anything in this area, almost to the base of the late spike on Thursday that we left, to me is the lower extreme of the current balance that we are in. Anything above here, above our overnight high, really is what I'm looking at as kind of the upper extreme of value. So what the question is, are we going to fail to bring price back to the center, or are we going to bring price lower? Does price need to advertise lower? Think about the context of the market. Remember, we're thinking, we've got a pretty good upside move here. Is there a pullback in order? Thoughts? Anybody want to chat? I don't have Mortimer here. Mortimer's not with us this afternoon. I think this market's worn everybody out. It was pretty much a chopper today, so here we go. Okay, putting in a new low now. We've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 new lows since the breakout of the opening of the initial balance. C, I, K, L. 4 breakouts below the initial balance, below the price, the low of the day. Each of them has been kicked back towards the point of control. Is there an opportunity here? Hello, Hussein. I don't have any volunteers that want to speak. Nobody wants to say anything. We're below value. We just moved the low of the session. Yes, overnight low is here. That's a poor low. We're already beyond that. Do we see continuation at the end of the day, or do we see another pullback towards point of control? Of course, Hussein. You can ask me anything you want. If I don't know, I'm going to tell you. It's snowing here. So Michael on YouTube is saying he was shorted the NASDAQ at 11,766. 11,766. 11,766. That's pretty good short. Pretty close to point of control. Here's the NASDAQ 30. NASDAQ hasn't been putting in new lows. Howdy, chart language. All right, I like what Scott's thinking here. Is continuation. Volume is light on these bump ups. In terms of volume profile, what do you look at when looking at volume profile? I'm sorry, this is my first time here. If I'm arrogant, please pardon that. Thanks. No, there's no arrogance, Hussein. We have nothing but kindness and politeness here, right? And there's nothing arrogant about what you're talking about. But in terms of volume profile, what I'm looking at is I'm more of a market profile, which is the TPO profile, which is right here, because the TPO profile focuses more on time for acceptance than volume for acceptance or rejection, if you will. Volume profile is something I use in a shorter time frame in a market that's directional. Not really, unless we start moving down relatively strong, I'm not going to be able to really show you how to do that. But the volume profile is basically telling us that most of the volume, 70% of it, is between these two prices. So anything I buy down below that without range extension has an 85% probability of coming back inside of value. It's likewise above. Value high is here. Anything that I sell above here without range extension has an 85% probability of returning back inside value. It's the bell curve. So volume profile is something I look at point of control, value high, value low, high of the session, low of the session. But it's the market profile that I focus more on because it's more based, again, on time is the constant and price is the variable. The longer price stays here, the wider this profile is going to get. And where the market is not spending a lot of time are the areas that I focus on for trade opportunities. Market's been down here 3-4 times. It's been rejected back to point of control every time. Will it again? All right, so you're looking to fade yesterday's low after the break. Well, if we faded yesterday's low, I mean, we're pretty close to that anyways, right? Michael Harold is saying he does volume profile and supply and demand zones in bigger time frames. I don't dome or order flow or book map, just price action. How big is the piece I've left out? Don't know. It sounds pretty good to me. Hussein, no problem. Now, there's lots of different ways to look at volume profile or market profile. There's composite profiles where we may be able to take the information from the last 4 sessions, stretch it out, and get a bigger picture. So we've got our volume profile, volume point of control for the last 4 sessions is up here. Value high, value low, very, very close to our current value low from the session today. But this is where the volume profile would come in, is when we're in this area and we start to get into these thin areas. I'll use those for executions. Like this low volume node right here looks like a really good opportunity for an execution. We didn't get there today, but all of this is comfort. All of this is where the market is doing two-sided trade. Lots of trading going on here because we're spending so much time and so much volume there. Okay, now we're getting into a situation where we may see yesterday's low. We're below value, but we've extended the range 4 times already. Market seems intent on continuing to try and do so. Do we have an opportunity here? Here's the profile again. Here's our low. Here's yesterday's low. Remember, so far, every time we've extended the range below the initial balance, which is here, price has come back to at least the point of control, which is just a couple of ticks below the halfway mark here. So Brad is saying he thinks the E-mini S&P will go back to volume point of control by at 6250 for 10 points with a 10-tick stop. All right, let's vote on that. If you like that trade, hit 1. If you don't, hit 2. Remember, there's nothing wrong with differences of opinion. Launch. Okay, we're about half of you have voted, and we're 70% yes. Here's the results. I'll just bring this over so you can see it here. We're trying to get that bought at 62.50 right now. We just took out the low by a couple of ticks, and the 10-point stop is in order here. So we are at 0.2 half. We're at 0 half. 60 even is the stop. We'll stop sharing. Darminder, are you using the TS Trader or Trade08 platform for your trading combine? Man, how often does this happen where we get a good trade idea and while we're voting on it, we miss it? Trade08, okay. So you're going to get your profile right here or here. Okay, you're going to want to use Not the legacy chart, the regular chart, and you're going to bring that up here. And you're going to put that right there, and then you're going to go ESZ, and you're going to click there and select. Now, it's already showing the profile. If it does not, then you're going to just come up here and you're going to change it from candlestick to TPO. All right. It looks like we missed our opportunity there. Sorry about that. Yeah, it does happen often, doesn't it? Because we're working together, but that's all right. We may still get a chance. We'll see what happens. So what I'm going to do then is I'm going to open up the chart editor, which is for the TPO chart. I want letter display. I want one tick size for each box. I want per letter colors. So if I'm gonna change these colors, all I do is left click on the color and choose the color that I want. Now there's a reason for that. So we can look at the profiles and just see visibly where a price was at certain points during the day. Okay, we've got session 1, 8:30 to 15. That's 8:30 Central to 3 p.m. Central. 8:30 a.m. Central to 3 o'clock p.m. Central. Those are the regular trading hours that I put on my profiles. If I'm going to add the overnight session, it starts at 5 p.m., which is 1700 Central, and then we stop it at 8:30. And then you're going to be able to change some of the colors and some of the parameters of like the TPOs, point of control, yes. Do you want it extended? Yes. Value area, highlight, okay, and draws a bar. Sometimes it's difficult to see some of these features on Trade-Evate. Volume profile, you get the same thing. You can have it show fills on your profile if you want, and trade lines if you want, and then hit apply and save, and then you're there. So yesterday, well, just in today, here's today's profile. We know that the majority of the early session was in here. As the day got on, it took a look at the high, couldn't take that out. Now it's moving lower because we're in the greens, and the blues are the last part of the session as I have this set up. But we're just not getting much of a cooperation in any direction here, are we? Spencer, it'll fill and stop out. That's what I'm thinking, Spencer. I think we had our chance to get that trade. Do we want to pull it, or let's see. I'm going to relaunch the poll. 1 is stay in the trade. Keep working to get into the trade. Number 2 is cancel it and look for something else. Here we are. I mean, the risk we've got on here is pretty small. Number 1 for stay in. Number 2 for get out. You're welcome, Darminder. Monday and Wednesday at 12:30, we have group coaching. Check it out on the website. You can come in there and ask a lot more questions, and I'll have more time to help get your platform set up if need be. Darminder. All right. So far, we're staying in. Here's the results. 69%. Yes, we're going to try and get filled on this trade. We'll stop sharing. I got to set up some more polls here. Cancel and try again at yesterday's low, which is right where our current stop is. Bradley agrees with Spencer. Eduardus, the bid-ask volume chart, it's worth looking into. It's not something that I look at. It really just depends on you, your ability to read it, your ability to... Oh, shit. Hang on. Hang on a second here. Okay, so it's a footprint chart, really. It just shows you how many contracts traded on the bid or the offer in both sides here. Gives you the total here. So to be able to see it, you've got to have it spread out pretty far. Some folks love it. Not my thing. Doesn't mean it's not for you. See how close in you got to have to see the numbers. Spencer short a couple micros right now. Swing trade. The TPO chart looks like the market is about to roll over. Looking at the last few days, yeah, we'll agree with that. I'm thinking we're either going to consolidate to even out inventory or we're going to need a pullback to even out that inventory. So I'm in alignment with that. I think we're going to pull this order because if we do get down there, my fear is we're going to go and check yesterday's low. We got 4 range extensions already. What's wrong with another one? We had a chance. Went right to it and then left us. And we are now in the final 30 minutes of the overnight session. The regular trading hour session. And we're hanging out. We had a good chance at that spot right there and messing around voting on it, and we missed it. That is really indicative of good trades. Good trades to me don't offer themselves the opportunity for very long. Yeah, this market has really stayed under VWAP largely all day long, right? And a nice push to the downside now on a close down there would create a late spike. Brad, thanks for the idea, though. Would have been a good one. We could have got 2-1 on that. Yeah. Rusty golfer, I mean, you're right. There is no right answer. It's what makes sense to you. I think we got a tick chart here somewhere. You're looking at a 2000. This is really fast. There's somebody we were working with a while back, so we put this on. Here's your 2000 tick chart. Well, not a lot of excitement here at this particular Make HOAG Money. At least not yet. Tomorrow morning is likely to be a little bit more fun. It's at 8:30 tomorrow morning. We've got housing starts and permits, jobless claims, Philly Fed before that. Ben, hey, good to see you, Ben. Busy day, yeah. Yeah, it was for me too. Good, Spencer. Yeah. Jared it's a good session, wasn't it? If you haven't read his book yet, I suggest it. I'm rounding the final turn on it now, but it's not just a one-time read. It's something you're going to want to kind of dig into. We're missing some volume on this. There we go. Oh yeah, chart language. The day session point of control for the TPO charts is well above VWAP. VWAP And this is that 2000 tick chart, but VWAP is 3970. We got point of control, TPO point of control, 3977. Volume point of control above that, 3979. Hey, market stalkers. Good to see you. Make HOAG Money, we're really kind of just focusing on the E-mini S&Ps because we're trying to figure out good ways to be able to vote on it. And it's kind of inefficient, but we're working our way through it. Ha ha. That's all right. It's all right. I like you. Here's the crude. We got Deanna talking about crude. For all intents and purposes, closed in the regular trading hours. Got a nice opportunity right after the close here, right after the 130 close, to look for a short at the high of the day. Slow grind lower. And yeah, Spencer, we had a sort of a balanced day today, but heavy to the downside, closing on the lows. It certainly does look like that. We still have talking feds talking. Let's see if we see any adjustments. If this thing does roll over and start driving to the downside before the close, do we want to be in it? Always cautious to sell lower. But maybe we want to think about that. If this thing starts to roll over and drive to the downside, do we want to take a look at a short if there's another range extension to the downside? We don't have to risk a lot on it. %83 are saying yes. %88 yes. What do you guys think on YouTube? Hussein says yes. NVIDIA does have earnings tonight after the close, Mike. Well, 80% yes, with half of you voting. We'll give it a try. It's going to run away from us now. Steven, stop. if I'm going to look for a breakout below the current range or IB, I'm not going to risk a lot. I use what I call a time stop. In other words, if it doesn't go my way right away, I'm out. I don't risk a lot on breakout type trades. And I'm viewing this as a breakout in more than one time frame. This area down here is somewhat the lower extreme of where our current balance is. And we've been toying with it all day long. Trying to see if there's any order imbalances. 244 million to the buy side. Early MOC imbalance. 244 million to the buy side. Spencer, yeah, if I were short, I would be annoyed by that as well. But this, I don't think this moved to the downside. Obviously, it hasn't been, but it hasn't been very, very confident. It's left, a couple of anomalies at different times. As our good friend Ben tells us, the market doesn't leave anomalies if it's real confident to one side or the other. But it looks like we may have missed our best trade of the hour. We were done messing around voting. We were looking to buy that 39.6250, which is 2 ticks off the low. See, here's an anomaly. Let's see if it puts up another anomaly. We had one here. I think we had one up here for a little while. Well, I'm going to cancel this. We can always put it back in should we see the opportunity to catch it, but we're getting kind of late in the, kind of getting old and long in the tooth here, aren't we? The D talking maybe sell a little rally if we get one. Dan, we had a past 4 days were rough for me. I got chopped up in the first hour of the day and got very close to max stop limit for the day. Size down already and hope we'll get out of this range tomorrow. Just slow down, and my goal today was try not to trade. Try not to trade. Wait until something comes to you that you just have to take. Maybe it's just because it's cheap. But my goal again was try not to trade. I failed. I traded. And a couple of losses early and said, that's it. I'm not going to beat myself up. I had a busy day today, so tomorrow I know will be a better day. $39.80 I see VWAP at. Confluence with IB low and some supply from earlier. Well, most of the time when I start getting involved this late, good things don't tend to happen. IB low 72. Right. We got a couple of minutes to see this order imbalance. What did it say? It was 244 million to the buy side. Let's watch. Bradley, I had the same goal, but I failed as well. But I sucked less. That's good. I love that that he puts it that way, and I hope everybody knows that. We mean that in the kindest possible way. Just try and suck less a little bit every day, right? Nice. You had some good trades in the last 10 minutes. Boy, that time frame. Why you D, come to make HOAG money one of these days. I got two different links for the morning session, which is on Tuesday and Thursday, and the evening session, which is on Monday and Wednesday. But just in case, D, all right, here's the link to register for Make HOAG Money tomorrow morning. It's at, wow, look at this. It's at 8:20 Central, 10 minutes before the S&P's open. I understand if you are going to be busy. Yep, here we go. I understand if you're going to be busy, but anytime. Oh, you do? Anytime you want to come, join us. Love to have your input. Yeah, financial juice. $3 billion buy side. Yep. Michael, this is where I shorted it at 11:39. Well, I got to tell you, that little A little upside pop off that low just evened me up for the day. Thank you very much. And I think we're done. So that first link was for the morning session. Tomorrow, I'm pretty sure it's a separate session for the evening. And that's this link. Keep them handy in case you want to stop by. Then I can have you talk and share charts, and you can make me money. I know that's your goal, right? I'm tired, man. It's been a long day. My pleasure, Rusty Golfer. Thanks for coming. Well, pretty much it. I'm going to waste everybody's time making this last all the way until 3 o'clock. So we'll call this Make HOAG Money, and we'll try again tomorrow morning. I'll see you for the forecast, 7:45, and then Make HOAG Money starts approximately 8:20. I'll look forward to seeing everybody there, and bring your good trade ideas. We need them. Trade well.